In the second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, finally, Arjuna surrenders to Sri Krishna in the 7th shloka, saying that I am your disciple, so please teach me, because I am confused, I am overpowered by weakness, so I don't know what to do. Then he says, Nahi prapashyami mamapanudhyad yachoka muchoshanam indriyanam avapya bhuma vasapatnam vruddham rajyam suranam apichadipatyam. So, bhumau, in this earth, asapatnam, without any enemy, without any rivalry, without any competition, riddham, flourishing, rajyam, kingdom, suranam, which is also flourishing, and suranam, over the gods, api adhipatyam, mastery or control over the gods, cha, and avapya, having attained, yet that mama indriyanam, of the senses, uchoshanam, great shokam, sorrow, apanudyat, should remove, nahi prapashyami, I do not see. So what Arjuna is now telling is that I have now come to such a state of sorrow that I don't see anything which will remove this sorrow, which is now breaking my senses, which is now controlling my senses, uchoshanam. And even though I will be unrivaled, I will have no enemies, and I will control this entire kingdom over the entire earth and master the gods, even if such a thing happens, I don't think I will be able to get over my sorrow. This is what Arjuna says. So I am in such a condition that I don't think my condition will be changed, even though I get to rule the entire earth. Then he says, then Sanjaya says, Sanjaya uvacha, eva muktva hrishikesham gudakeshah parantapah na yotsya iti govindam uktva tushnim babhuvaha. So Sanjaya says that Parantapa, the person who burns one's enemies, Gudakesha. Gudaka means sleep. Isha means one who has conquered, the lord of sleep. Hrishikesham. So Gudakesha, that is Arjuna, he who has conquered sleep, he tells to Rishikesha. Rishikesha means Krishna. Rishika means senses, Isha means the lord of senses. Evam uktva, having spoken thus, he says, na yotsye, I will not fight, I shall not fight. Govindam, to Govinda he said. Govinda means, go means sense organs, Vinda means one who has controlled. So Govinda means one who has controlled sense organs. Uktva, so saying this, tushnim babhuva, he became silent. So Arjuna said that I will not be able to now fight, I shall not fight, and then he became silent. Why does he become silent? That, and Rishikesha, when Arjuna is saying that I will not fight, Sanjaya is using these terms, Gudakesha, Parantapa, etc., which is used when a person fights, which is used as an appellation or a title for a warrior. But here Sanjaya is using it when Arjuna says that I will not fight. Why is he using these words for Arjuna, who is saying that he is not fighting? Because he wants to show that Arjuna not fighting is just temporary. He is in fact a great warrior, and the moment Sri Krishna is going to give him knowledge, this delusion, this despondency, this confusion will go away. Then he says, Tamuvacha Rishikeshah Prahasanniva Bharata Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Vishidantam Idam Vachaha. Bharata, the descendant of King Bharata, or one who has come in the lineage of King Bharata. that is Dhritarashtra here. So Bharata can be used for any of the Pandavas, any of the Kauravas, and also for Dhritarashtra. So Sanjay is addressing Dhritarashtra as Bharata. He says, O Dhritarashtra, Rishikesha, that is Sri Krishna, Prahasan Iva, as though he was smiling. So after hearing the words of Arjuna, Sri Krishna started smiling, and Ubayoho Senayoho Madhye, and in the midst of two armies, he Vishidantam to Arjuna, who was sorrowing, tam to him idam vachaha. This word he uvacha, he spoke. So now Sri Krishna has already told two verses where he has told, where from did you get this delusion or confusion? So, and then he said that this is anarya justam, this doesn't befit you. This, whatever you are doing, klaibyam masmagama partha, this doesn't befit you. So don't be unmanly, klaibya. And now he smiles. Afterwards, Arjuna has said that I am your disciple, so please instruct me. Now he smiles. Why is smiling? When somebody who is ignorant or doesn't know things comes to a person who is knowledgeable and tells something, then the person acts as though, oh, you are an ignorant person. So one smiles to create shame in the other person. So here also Sri Krishna smiles so that Arjuna will feel ashamed. Then, and smile is also because of knowledge. This knowledge of Sri Krishna brings upon a smile on his face. So Sri Krishna says, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, Ashocyan annanva shochastvam pragyavadamscha bhashase gatasuna gatasunscha na anusochanti panditaha. So people who talk like panditaha, people who talk like pragyavadan, who talk like they are prajna, they are wise people. So here also Arjuna is talking as though he is a wise person, but he is not. That is what Sri Krishna is telling. He says, Tvam ashocyan. You are ashocyan anvashochaha. You are anvashocha. You are mourning or you are sorrowing for those for whom you should not sorrow. Ashocyan means those for whom one should not sorrow. Pragyavadan. And you are talking words of wisdom, or you are talking the words of wise persons. Bhashase, you are speaking. But a true wise person will do what? Panditaha, those who are wise, they will gatasun, that which is dead, and agatasun, the living. For the dead and the living, they don't na anushochanti, they don't grieve. They don't sorrow, they don't mourn for the dead and the living. So what do we do when somebody dies? You mourn, right? You keep a period of sorrow. But here Sri Krishna says that wise people do not mourn the dead. Why does he say so?
You're only leaving the body.
No, but are you not wise? No, most people are wise, but why is it that they keep a period of mourning? How many days it is? 13 days. So all people know that it is attachment. Everyone knows that it is bad, but still you don't want to come out of it. Why? Tell me why.
Maharaj, what I can say is I'm trying. That's why I'm sitting here in your.
You are convinced. You are not convinced. That is why. You are not convinced. You don't believe that. So, because not many people have seen Brahmagyanis, so they don't feel convinced. So nobody is convinced. about suffering or about way from suffering. So there is something called consciously suffering. Everyone suffers, but you are not conscious about suffering. Buddha was conscious about suffering, though he did not suffer. So unless you told me the other day, no, I don't think I am suffering. So that is what the case is with most people. They don't think that they are suffering, though they are, but you are not conscious. Why? Because you have not thought about it. So because you are not conscious, you will continue to suffer. So here also the problem is, you see, people sorrow for the dead and also for the living. Somebody was talking to you, suddenly stop talking, you don't feel good. You start mourning for that person, etc., etc. So if we don't sorrow for the dead or the living, there will be no sorrow in our life. This world will give suffering. Only when you understand this, you will practice. Then Sri Krishna says, Natvevaham jatu nasam, natvam neme janadipaha, na chaiva na bhavishyamah, sarve vayamatah param. So he says, Aham jatu, I natu asam, I never existed. Na eva, tau, and you also did not exist. Na ime janadipaha, and all the kings who are standing in front of you on either side of the battle, that is Kaurava's side also and Pandava's side, they also did not exist. And na ataparam, and after this also they will not exist. Means they never exist, they will not exist also in the future. Sarve vayam na bhavishyamah cha na eva. And also it does not mean that we will not exist in the future. It is not that we never existed in the past, or this I never existed, or you did not exist, Arjuna, or these kings did not exist, or it is also not true that we will not exist in the future. That means what? The self, Atman, exists all the time. But the body does not exist. Body is destroyed. So body gets destroyed, but Atman exists. So you are different from the body. Most of our time, energy, everything is spent on maintaining the body. But can you think that you are different from the body? Only in theory. In theory, you can think that you are not the body.
No, we know from this we are not, but we don't put it in practice. We don't practice it. I don't practice.
Why you don't practice?
I'm trying.
So, that's what he is saying. You see, you exist all the time. That means you exist all the time means not the body. The body was born, then it will die. So how do you exist all the time? That means the self exists all the time. So why can't we practice this? Holy Mother says that to be without desires itself is liberation. So it's very simple. Be without desires. Simple. Finish. How much do you think about death?
Often
Often. So what do you think about death? That I will die?
I think it's kind of an experience sort of thing.
Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat.